hustling, 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 hustling.
Welcome to another episode of the Muscle Hustle Podcast. I'm your girl, Cokes. Make sure to subscribe at the Muscle Hustle Podcast on all social media platforms, talking Spotify, iHeartRadio, CastBox, you name it, we on it. Also, make sure to check out that YouTube channel. Usually, as my co-host would say, Ken, click the link below, and I swear I'm gonna get that right one day. Apparently, it's some type of clip that I'm just gonna have to find on what's that thing called, John? CapCut? I'm gonna get that. Chill out. I'm gonna get that. Look, if you don't already see, you got the vibes in the house.
Yeah.
Brown. Mad Russians in the building.
What's up?
Geeked up. Ready to go here in Houston.
Yeah.
New York's in the building.
It is.
Bro, what's good?
What's going on?
Listen, I'm excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be. I love Houston. It's my home away from home in America.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I was
come out
gonna
here a
move
lot?
here. Yeah. I was gonna move here. This is like my
Say word.
word.
Word. Interesting.
Love Houston.
I mean, Sal here.
Yeah. I asked Sal when he moved here. He said he still live in New York.
That's what he say. I don't
I
give a
don't
damn what he said. No, this
don't
nigga is a
believe it.
Houstonian.
I feel like
he
he
was a
lying.
Houstonian before I was. I don't care what
That's
he's
what I
saying.
hear every week. I feel like, I don't know.
Bro, like seriously, no.
I don't blame him though.
I mean,
Mm.
I left too, so it is what it is at this point. Come on now. Come on, best friend.
Talk to me.
Let's go. I hope you move. You ready? Bring your
Whenever.
dog, too.
Oh yeah, me and my dog. We soon. God willing.
That's what's up. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you.
Anytime.
Listen, go ahead. I know I already said your name, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello.
No.
I'm Boris, the Mad Russian, and I'm here vibing.
Yo, if you don't really know, you need to do your research. Mad Russian is one of the big DJs. I say he's one of the biggest DJs. One of them, honestly. In New York, travels. Yes, he's Russian, but big Caribbean DJ for sure. We're going to tap into that a little bit more. Masquerader as well, too. You be seeing him whining, doing his thing on the road. Crazy at that, but just all vibes. The energy is endless, jumping all over the stage. Like, you're a vibe.
Carnival's a vibe.
Carnival is a vibe, but you got to be a vibe in order to be able to enjoy Carnival. But you can't be stush.
Nah, usually here's the thing, right?
You be having some stush people.
It's
like,
not until sometimes, but it's not until you really experience Carnival. I've seen the stushest of people become party animals and enjoy themselves and just have the time of their life, because that's what Carnival's about. So having a good time.
But the music got to be on point, though.
The music's always on point.
Sometimes. Sometimes. There be some epic fails when it comes to fets. But we're going to leave that.
Debatable.
Yeah?
Debatable.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that. You're here in Houston for this weekend for Juve Junkies promo group. I know Dave. Socialites, right.
So
That's their...
So you got Socialites, Motion, David.
So it's a conglomerate of people.
You got
okay.
Mackie, which is Plan B events.
Yes. Shout out to Mackie.
For the first time, I know this is an annual thing. This is my first time here DJing the events, but my teams, Firebrand and Fetlist, we came together. We do an event in New York called, this is a Soca Party.
Okay.
Which is focused strictly on Soca.
We're talking like small islands and all that too, right?
Every island.
Okay.
So basically, we came together with this concept. It's not per se an original concept, because there are other 100% Soca events, but
right.
What makes us different from everyone else is that our focus and our instructions to the DJs and what we ask our DJs and our guests to play is a wider variety.
Okay.
So you're not getting, people complain they're hearing the same soca over and over, or they're hearing a very limited
right
selection.
Behind each other.
Right. Or you're hearing the throwbacks and it's like the same throwbacks 2 hours later. We really try to push the envelope, not only with classics and throwbacks that sometimes are forgotten when you're playing for a wider variety of people that may not necessarily be in love with soca, and give them those nostalgic feelings of, oh my God, I haven't heard the song. But we also try to incorporate the music that is playing in the carnivals in the Caribbean that don't necessarily always carry over into the States or wherever, you know, you have anywhere in the world that's not right. So,
or once it gets carried over, then it's like mad
maybe
late.
lost,
Like,
or even if it's not mad late, you know, if you get 40 songs that are played for the season, you might only get 2, 3, 4, 5 that might transition over, if that much.
That much, yeah.
So our focus is really to get that variety, and this is the first year we're giving it a try. We're bringing this Soca party to this weekend, to Juve Junkies weekend, to kick off the vibes and give people that experience that this is really like genuinely an experience for people that love soca and want to hear more soca.
So you're looking to do a tour?
In time, we're looking to expand
within
the States, within the Caribbean, you know, and abroad, wherever soca is, wherever more soca is needed, because we love our soca, and you know,
we love soca. I love soca.
Basically,
I feel that. Where are you originally from?
St. Petersburg, Leningrad, Russia. Sorry. I had to do that as I get it a little. I had to make it sound a little more. You can't just St. Peter's. You got to give it a little Russian so that they know it's authentic.
That's authentic.
It's there.
Got it.
I'm from Russia. Everybody, my family's from Russia.
Straight, everybody.
Just everybody.
But you live in New York.
I live in New. See how you said New York? You live in New York.
So,
yeah, but I'm from New York. I moved there when I was 3, so basically a New Yorker.
Okay, all right. And so the introduction, I mean, it's a melting pot in New York, but at the same time, like, you know, different boroughs, different, there's always a ethnicity in a sense that actually like runs the borough, but it's still a melting pot when it comes to New York as a whole.
Absolutely.
Caribbean DJ. We see a Russian from New York, but you're a Caribbean DJ.
Play a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How did that come about? Let's dive into that.
I came up in a time when I got to high school. At that time, we had this thing called when bashment parties were really when soca was a very niche thing.
Yeah.
And not as mainstream as it is now. But back then, people in my age group, and I don't want to talk for older generations, but people in my age group were very focused either on hip hop or dancehall.
Yeah.
So I got carried into the dancehall scene for some, you know, teen pasa-pasas, and we were doing like basement parties. And I'm from Brooklyn, so you got to if you're from Brooklyn, you got to let everybody know that you're from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, so we had.
So wait, how long have you been DJing? Let's start there.
Professionally, 7 years.
Okay.
Not professionally, about 10.
Okay.
But yeah, we around that time when I started going to those basement parties, I accidentally picked up DJing. The goal was actually to be a bartender, but
really
didn't work out. I sweat too much. Like I asked for a Casamigos and lemonade. You're getting Casamigos, lemonade, and sweat. I'm the worst bartender in the world.
You actually attempted?
I tried.
Okay. And
at like a friend's gathering. I would never do it in front of other people.
Gotcha.
Sweat. Just
I mean, if you know, you know.
Dangerous. Yeah, I wouldn't want to lace people's drinks with sweat. Hard work and dedication. Why does it taste like that?
See, if you know, you know. So then
we got into the teen pasa-pasas, and I thought dancehall was like, I still do, like dancehall is this amazing thing. I didn't know anything about like lovers rock or like reggae.
Right.
It was just dancehall.
Okay. Straight bashment.
I was doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos on YouTube, and just learning the culture in that, just trying to absorb what I've seen locally in Jamaica. So watching the street dances there, listening to mixes from DJs that are down in Jamaica, but also trying to absorb the culture from what I'm seeing in parties locally.
Right.
And watching what the DJs that were trending or you know, the DJs that were the DJs that, you know, everybody has their time. The DJs that were running the scene at that time, watching what they were playing and just absorbing all of that. And then one day a friend of mine carried me to a now my best friend. His family does a bus ride or used to do a bus ride to Boston for Carnival. It would be like a day bus ride. And
To Boston's Carnival?
to Boston's Carnival from
Okay.
New York. And that was like the epiphany like that I had that day. It was just life-changing because I didn't know anything about, you know, I just knew Jamaica.
Right. Gotcha.
At that time, Jamaica was the Caribbean to me. And,
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people are that way, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to really learn.
Like Jamaica wasn't really pushing for no carnival before that.
No.
Until like recently.
Yeah,
Got
but it was it's all right. So dancehall was it. And then I got on this bus ride and it was predominantly Trinidadians. I don't know where Trinidad was or what Trinidad was about, but we got on this
Trinidadians
bus.
going to Boston.
Right. We were
Okay.
it was Trinidadians from New York that were on a bus.
Gotcha.
50. So I'm not expecting the vibes that they brought around, but it was wild because you get on this coach bus. It's not a party bus, it's a coach bus. It's 6, 7 in the morning. And they fed me bacon saltfish. I've never had bacon saltfish before. I was like, what is this? They're like, just try it. Tried it. It was great. And you get on this bus at 7 in the morning. As you like step foot on the bus, here's a drink. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, no.
Forget the water.
I'm like, bro, it's 7 o'clock. Here's a drink. Take a drink, boy. I was like, all right, cool. I'll take a drink. You're not expecting much from it. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You have a drink in your hand. It's a coach bus.
Mm-hmm.
You got the elders in the back. They got iron. They're knocking iron. So they put on a mix. Music is blasting. Soca music. I don't really know anything about soca, but it's high energy. It's fun. Everybody's in a great mood. You got the elders in the back. They're knocking iron. You got the younger people. And a few drinks in, this ride is 2.5, 3 hours long. And about 15, 20 minutes in, everybody's in such high spirits and everybody's up and dancing and whining and, you know, depending on the soca,
Right,
what's playing, what song selection. You know. But I'm watching, these girls are whining and having a good time. And I'm like, this is great. This is infectious. This is so positive and so fun. And it was great. And I was like, this is cool. And then we finally got to Boston. That was the moment. I got off the bus. I got off the bus. As I said, this was around the time when soca was not as mainstream unless you were part of that group.
Right. Okay.
Right. Unless you came from that upbringing.
Yeah.
It was not as mainstream as it is now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So the people that knew, and those that didn't.
Yes. Yeah.
So we got on the road and everybody's in costume and I'm seeing all these beautiful women and I'm like, wow.
And I'm still amazed at the fact that Boston was actually like the first one. Like, I don't even know if I was stationed in Boston, but only like very, very small. I barely saw any Caribbean folks. I knew that there was a dancehall scene in Boston, but I didn't know that there was hell, I didn't even know there was a carnival until honestly my man's, shout outs to Warlock. He's the one who put me on, was just like, yeah, you got to come out here as well too. And I was just like, bro, y'all got to.
It's a vibe. And what I will say is it's a vibe. Like, again, especially if you're new to the culture or, you know, like sometimes a carnival in the Caribbean can be a little intense. It's like you're jumping into the deep
lion's den. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so if you want to really get a feel of it and try to work your way into it, I mean, Boston was for me a perfect first step to really like get introduced to the culture and see what soca was about and what carnival was like, right?
So in New York, you didn't even tap into?
I had no idea. I didn't know what Labor Day weekend was about. I didn't.
Wow.
It just.
But you heard of like Puerto Rico parade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard of the Labor Day parade as well, but it's like I've never been.
Gotcha.
It wasn't something, you know. I was happy in my little dance hall bubble. I was having the time of my life, and I mean, I love dancehall music so much too. But when I was introduced to soca, that high energy feeling of like love, and that's what it is. It's love. Like it's acceptance, it's culture, it's fun. This is what
vibrancy.
it is.
Yep.
It's just good vibrations all around. I was like, wow, like this is what I want to do, and that was like that's when I started to really started to DJ.
That's what's up. And now you're basically a requested DJ everywhere.
Everywhere is a drag.
Really? Come on, man.
We still got a way to go.
But you're going.
God willing.
Yeah. you got it.
God willing.
I'm gonna give you your flowers because clearly you're trying to be humble on this platform, and I ain't trying to hear it.
That's how it's not about being humble. It's just,
bro, you're requested.
I go where.
Shout outs to Silent Killer, right? So we usually have our meetings on like every weekend or every week. Usually it's during the midweek, right? I didn't even know homie was here. So in the group chat, we're sitting, I'm just like, yo, Nara tomorrow. He's like, yeah, bet. Doesn't tell me dude is here, right? He tells me after I park, oh yeah, by the way, Mad Russian's here. I'm just like, okay. Now, granted, it's funny because I know who Mad Russian is, but I didn't realize, like, okay, when he said it, it didn't click because I'm thinking maybe he's just another local that's basically calling himself Mad Russian, whatever. I didn't know it was a dude from New York. I was just like, nah, ain't no way. I know you, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I know your resume. I'm going to say that. You know what I'm saying? I know the vibes. I've seen you play. Mm-hmm. I've seen you play in bands. I've seen you rock. I've seen you jump. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it all. So I'm just
I
like.
haven't jumped in a while. You don't want me to jump no more.
Weren't you just in Jamaica?
I was.
Shut up.
Time of my life. It's amazing.
You just jumping in Jamaica.
Time of my life. I had an amazing time.
We saw.
It was,
but
you talking about pictures?
Girl, but no, seriously, like, it didn't click. So when I pulled up and I walked through, and granted, there's a big ass soccer game going on, so it's a Mediterranean spot. Everybody's like
having the time of their life.
Having the time of their life, yelling at the screen and all that stuff. So I just walk in, head down, ready to go. I already know where I'm going. Go to the back, sit down.
Always that one spot with him.
Yeah. I mean,
one table
listen,
or no.
we fall asleep there, literally wake up, and then we just keep it going.
I
you know
said the same thing. I didn't even bother
us.
calling. I parked up and I knew exactly where I was going. You want a seat? No, I know where I'm going.
I know exactly where I'm going. You get the head nod and we good. So I walk in and I'm just like, I do a double take because I'm looking, I'm just like, oh, wait, his face looked familiar. So I sit down, just like, I tapped him. I was just like, wait, ain't that dude from New York? He was like, yeah, I told you. I was like, nah, you told me. Never mind. And then I was just like, so I'm forgazing the situation, trying to make it seem like I'm texting. And I'm just like, I pull your page up. I was like, no, that's dude. I was just like, all right,
I told
cool.
you it's my twin brother.
Definitely not about to be. Then you try to hit me with the, oh yeah, no.
That's
and I was like,
brother.
wait, aren't you Matt? He was like, yeah, no, that's my twin brother. I'm like,
yeah.
No, and I'm gullible as shit. So I'm just like,
I don't know nothing. I just know that that's my twin brother.
Nah, he joking, right? So I tapped, it's like SK, he's joking.
After a few drinks, I'm someone else. I don't claim Mad Russian after those few.
So who you claim?
Mad Russian's twin brother. Mad Russian 2.0.
Got it.
B-side.
That's the one
the B-side. You know, vinyl's got the A-side and the B-side. Nobody ever claims the
I'm done.
The B-side of the vinyl.
Is?
That's exactly what it is.
Reception in the culture.
Ooh.
Right? Again, you know what? Reception in the culture, both dancehall and soca as well too, right? The Caribbean, just in general. How has that journey been? I'm not even gonna say transition because
it has been
just in general. Because I mean, you got folks that you're I don't want to say competing with, but in the sense, let's just keep it spade a spade. You got Kevin Crown, you had Sal, you have, I mean, it's endless. So, the sounds, the clashes, all of the whole 9 yards, and then.
No, and with no disrespect to anybody, nobody is my competition but myself. And that
Say that again.
Nobody. I'm not competing with nobody but me.
Folks don't understand that.
There's no such thing as competition.
But folks don't understand that.
And they need to understand that's the only thing that matters. Nothing else matters. The less you study what other people are doing and focus on what you need to do, the further you get. Period.
It's a matter of being authentic.
Sitting there and watching people and bad-minding people and red-eyeing people and wow, you don't benefit in any way.
Yeah.
You know, you have people that are down-talking people and you don't.
I'm sure it's
not just within.
Yeah.
I'm just talking from personal experience.
No, I got it.
You know, hearing, well, this person said this about you, and okay, you can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't concern me. All that matters is how do I elevate myself to get to that next stage. That's it. Everything else is completely irrelevant. I don't have competition.
Your experience in transitioning from dancehall.
No, that was 10 years ago. That wasn't really a transition. I was never in the dancehall scene
Okay.
as a DJ.
It was just the vibe in itself.
I was just hanging out
Gotcha.
there. So I never really, I mean, I have every once in a while I'll play at a Jamaican dance, and I actually love those because I love that they're so open to like an open format set where you can incorporate something.
So would you consider yourself an open format DJ, or would you consider yourself a Caribbean DJ?
I'm known more for soca, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very capable of all around whatever room you put me in, I can handle myself.
Playing for the crowd.
Right. I wouldn't, I know that I can hold my own. I can't tell you that I'd be the best at anything because there's, it's not a thing, but I can hold my own in just about any room that you put me in. I like it. I just don't often get opportunities to display that. So I said every once in a while when I do get that open format set where I'm at a, Jamaican dance or at even sometimes some hip hop clubs where they're, a little more, they might have some Caribbean or African following coming in where I can still display that, hey guys, right. I can do this open format, or hey, I could stick to this one genre that's not soca. But soca's the
primary.
Soca's the primary health care. You understand? It's good for the soul, it's good for the body.
Not primary health care.
The primary health care providers. Soca is it. You need a daily dose of soca music. Positivity. Only positivity.
How were you able to transition from just like fets into like actually becoming because you've played for bands as well too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That in itself is not easy. I've heard stories. I've heard it where it's just like, I get my play, at these different fets and stuff like that every now and then, just the lineup, I'm able to either open up, probably close out, get my chance here or there, but actually being booked for Carnival, actually being booked for to actually play on the truck. That's a different caliber.
We live in a time that's very different from what I guess previous generations are accustomed to.
Okay. You're talking about like the hustle and trying to like get yourself out there?
Yes.
Okay.
We're talking primarily marketing.
At this point, yeah.
Image, how you present yourself, what you put out, what you show people. We're an oversaturated market.
Very much so.
And I wouldn't just say within the Caribbean community. I can, looking from the outside, because I can just about speak for the circle that I'm in, we are a heavily oversaturated market. However, there is room for everyone. The thing is, a lot of events are very top 40 oriented. Mm-hmm. Hence why, again, Soca Party was to try to break those boundaries. There are events where you can really get into it, but a lot of events bring in people from diverse backgrounds or different age groups, and you try as a DJ to keep everybody engaged and happy, and that's obviously not something that's possible all the time.
Yeah.
Right, which is why, again, certain songs get lost. And the DJs are seeing, well, this gets a response, so I'm going to do it. So I'll play the same song.
Right.
Right. Which now presents the problem that if all of us are playing the same songs, how do you stand out? What makes you different? Because it's not like, big up the DJs that are producing, but it's not like the selections are primarily based on, well, you produce this remix. It's not always accepted, right? It's always who plays what first.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, how do you make yourself
not look like a biter?
Well, again, what songs are going to get what response from who.
But not 3 times in a row. And
I completely agree with you. However, as a DJ, I've also been, sometimes I want to play different and you just lose the crowd. Right. So again, marketing is really what brings that demand. Who are you? Forget how you play, because again, I can't speak for other cultures. I can speak for my friends, my brothers, my sisters that I work alongside with. I know for a fact the Caribbean has some of the most entertaining, talented DJs, artists all around. Period. You can put majority of my DJ friends, you could put them anywhere. Doesn't have to be a Caribbean event.
Right.
Anywhere. Based on the culture, how they speak, how they converse with the crowd, very different from any other culture. Whenever I go and visit other events that are not Caribbean, I'm watching how the DJs speak, and it works for that. That's their culture. But, you know, we add a little comedy to it. When you're watching the DJs that play in the Caribbean, they'll talk, they'll make it a little funny, right? They'll bring a little extra piece of entertainment. See, you brought up Kevin Crown. And Kevin Crown is like jumping on stage like 6 feet high.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining. It's fun. You have men like Noah Power.
Yep.
Right? And Noah Power is, I was just talking about this with a friend of mine, and it's like he'll get on that stage with this confidence and it'll be funny. He'll talk, he'll add humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a whole performance. It's not just a DJ adding in words in between songs to. There's so much raw talent.
The whole conversation and everything.
I'm just bringing names that I know you'd know for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Because the list goes on.
It does. It really does. It's endless.
Again, we have a lot of DJs. Like there's space for everybody, but again, the market is saturated. But the talent, endless. Some of the best, most talented DJs, period. Point blank, can't take it away from them. Amazing. What differentiates the big dogs from the not big dogs is their brand.
And that's through time?
Some people get it instantly, other people have to build it. Right? But again, nothing happens overnight, and the bottom line is how you present yourself, how you carry yourself when you're out in public, what you put out on your social media.
That's a
how
big
you
thing
present
now, huh?
your stuff on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Your consistency with as my good friend Sean from Fetless would say, you know, your consistency in, you know, putting out content that relates to your following. We might be in the same circle, but I might have 5,000 followers from one part of the Caribbean and you might have 5,000 from the other part. You might have the older generation, I might have the younger generation. Our content should not be the same. It should be inclusive for everybody. There should be inclusive content for everybody, but you should know your crowd and who you're marketing to.
Okay, so what if they're trying to expand their crowd?
That's when you start bringing in the more inclusive, again, to each their own, and everybody has their own. So, you know, there's so many variables that I can't really speak. But what I can say is, again, once you figure out what your goal is, you focus on that goal. If you want to be all around, you have to figure out a way to incorporate an all around, you know, if you have a.
Because you've seen, since we're tapping into that and we're talking about that right now, that's actually a, not I don't want to say situation, but that's actually something where you'll find a DJ who literally is just like, okay, they've built their name and their support, the crowd that follows them based off of what they've done, you know, their length and time in DJing. This is their resume per se, right? This is the niche in a sense, right? Okay. But as time goes on, they're just like, you know what? Like, yeah, by experience and also just exposure, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, this is what I knew, and this is the reason why I built, and this is what I'm known for. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I want to show my talents. I want to be able to branch out. I see dude doing this, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm trying to be like him, but at the same time, I know I want to do this as well too.
That's where it comes in though. That's where I told you the competition is not the other DJ that's getting the bookings that you want. Mm. The competition is what are you going to do to get there with them?
Get there with them.
You can get into that other circle without stepping on somebody's toes. Everybody tries to take everything so personal. Business is business and personal is personal, baby. Ain't nothing. I have promoters that'll come up to me and tell me, Russian, so-and-so came, and they're like, why are you booking Russian? I could this, and it's like, you don't have to step on my toes. Figure out how to get in respectfully, correctly. I'm there for a reason.
That stuff. Like, it's crazy.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that happens. I'm sure it happens to everybody, right? But it's like, you're so focused on what I'm doing and what I'm getting and how I'm getting it in. Like, figure out how you could get in without being that person. Don't be that person. Don't stop somebody else's food. That's I'm not mad at nobody. You know what I mean? When I was coming up, when I was just starting, I was that person. You know what I mean? And that's where growth comes in. And as time, you start to learn, or you don't. And if you don't, that's where you find that you're stagnant and you're not moving up.
Gotcha.
If you don't grow out of that mentality, that whole, well, this person is doing it and I could do it better. So what? But they're getting it and you're not. So what are you doing wrong, and why are you not getting it? What's your problem?
There's a reason why they went to them and not you.
Exactly. Is your marketing off? Are you not, oh wow, why did I just black out? Are you not networking? Are you not talking to the right people? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people?
Right.
And that plays a huge part as well. Who are you surrounding yourself with?
You are the company you keep.
You are the company that you keep. You hang out with bosses. You want to become a boss, right?
Right.
Because if you're a group of friends and you have a group of friends that are like, I'm not saying jump into a group of friends because they're at a certain level, right? But if you want to,
them, they probably won't be, because
they're not going to accept you. Who are you,
yeah.
right? No. But again, if you surround yourself with people, and let's say none of you are bosses and all of you want to be bosses, right? But you see that your group of people are not working towards it. Nobody's giving you nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody's nothing's going to be handed to you.
Right.
Nothing. That goes for anything in life. Like you're not going to get handed anything. Nothing is free. Nothing is, you want something, you work for it. If the people around you are not motivated and are not pushing themselves and at the same time pushing you to go further and do more, you're going to be stagnant. You're never going to move up.
That's facts.
Because that's the energy you surround yourself with. So I'm not saying like you want to be rich, hang out with rich people. No. You hang out with people, if you're broke and your group of if your group of friends are broke, and you don't want to be broke
no more.
What is the group doing collectively to not be broke anymore? Like,
unbroke yourself.
Unbroke yourself. You can unbig your back. I'm not going to because I look good. But unbroke yourself. If you're unhappy, it's not just about money. Like if you're unhappy with something in life, the energy that you're surrounded with and that's gonna dictate how you handle the situation.
Right.
In a sense.
I agree.
That's all it is.
What other challenges have you faced coming up in the industry?
A lot of the challenges are personal challenges.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily. Sometimes there are moments in time where things get slow. Not a lot of bookings.
Okay.
Not a lot of attention, or focus on you, right? On me. And at those times, it gets very discouraging. It gets very difficult.
How do you deal with that discouragement? Because I can definitely see that. I mean, it happens with any type of, in my opinion, service-related type of industry, right? But you're pretty much, you mind if I ask, is this solely what you do?
No. I operate my own business back in New York that I'm not going to talk about.
Okay.
It's nothing illegal though. I just don't want it. That sounds kind of crazy. That sounded a little suspicious. Not illegal, but I do operate an event service business.
Okay.
And I am also a home health aide.
Okay.
So
I say that because I asked that because, there's the service-related type of industries, right? Obviously, there's highs and lows.
Right.
Right. And so when it's high and it's good, it's good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Especially if you follow what you're supposed to do as far as putting in, the energy into marketing yourself and getting those bookings and whatever service that you're in or whatever industry that you're in, you make it do what it do and you're actually at that peak and that high. I mean, it's like seasons throughout the year. So obviously when there's a low point, there's a low point. Every now and then there's always going to be that low. And so I'm trying to basically get to what do you do to stay encouraged?
So personally, what I was getting at when I brought up the lows, when things get slow, is I struggle a lot with mental health around those times because I've been blessed to see a lot of those big stages that everybody wants to,
Be on.
be on, and those great highs. When things get very slow, it's rather depressing. So mental health really is a struggle that nobody really discusses in the industry.
At all.
At least on my end of the woods, it's quiet. We don't talk about it, but the lows are extremely low when you see a certain high. This is something that I recently started tackling, like
Okay.
very recently. But
You mind if I ask, like, what type of things do you do to kind of help?
so for me right now, it's more about conditioning myself.
Okay.
Conditioning myself to remember how blessed and how much I have to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
That it would include the people that are in my corner, that are constantly there to support me.
Support you.
The few blood relatives that I have left, them, my child, my dog, the dog child. Not all DJs have kids. I know it's 2024 and it's hard to believe, but ladies,
Not the wink.
ladies, I only got a dog.
No.
I'm a proud dog dad. No kids. But yeah, no. Just reminding myself that I am blessed to have some amazing people in my corner that are always there, that I could count on, and surrounding myself with the people more now. And just, just trying to better myself as a person, trying to be a better friend, trying to work through issues that I've identified with myself as a person. Like trying to be a little more, I guess, of an active listener.
Gotcha.
I have a very
Growing stages.
yeah. So it just self-help.
Yeah.
I've been reading up on some self-help books.
That's
It's-
respectable, honestly. Like that's good to hear. Again, like you said, it's not really talked about.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in this industry.
Right, because everybody sees. The thing is, when you're marketing the highs, and the reality of it is, nobody wants you to market the lows.
But don't you think that that'd be a lot more respected, especially at this time?
Absolutely. And that's something that, as I said, as I'm going through my journey now, this is something that I'm learning more about. It's not something that I necessarily am fully comfortable discussing yet,
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't reached a stage where I fully understand everything that's going on.
That's authenticity right
But
there too.
Just
man.
taking it day
being
by
real.
day until I find that comfort
Comfort.
to be able to discuss, because it is something that I would like to discuss, because again, I feel like it is extremely important, especially for DJs that travel, and even those that don't, the ones that stay at home. We have a bad rep. I'm talking about personal life right now. I'm talking about like dating.
Mhm.
We have a terrible rep.
Absolutely.
And I mean, for good reasons. I've seen my fair share. I've seen my fair share of you really shouldn't be doing that. Why are
Run
you doing
through
it?
them. Run through them.
But for those of us that are a little more, let's call it mature, not age-wise, I'm still young, but mature emotionally and looking for, let's say, something serious, it's very difficult to date.
Yeah.
Just because DJs, it's that time. I hope the microphone caught that. It did. My
It didn't
stomach.
catch mine, Sid.
My stomach says greetings. I
Okay,
heard yours.
good.
You
You did.
sure? I heard that. I didn't want to. Greetings
Listen, I'm hungry.
from Mad Belly. But yeah, no, it's difficult because we have these stigmas that come with our name. So it's like when I meet a girl that I'm interested in,
Oh, you
I
a
never-
DJ?
I never lead with I'm a DJ. It's like you'll find out in the next day, or I mean, you'll get my Instagram probably by the end of the conversation,
Right.
if there's a spark. But it's like once you're a DJ, they'd be like, and it's like already
Unless
2
nowadays
steps
they
back. So it's
bold.
like right,
I have to just be coming up to you.
right, and it's like all these girls approach you. No, they don't. They do more than the average man, but no, they don't. How
Not the
often?
quality ones. Is that
No. There's some amazing girls in no, nothing to do with quality. We're talking strictly quantity right now.
They don't be throwing panties. at
Let's
you?
discuss. No,
Blah.
absolutely not. There are a few, but
I
that's
know
not,
there's a few.
every once in a while. But it's not as much as Like, it's so exaggerated. Like, and it's so overdone. It's like, all these girls are on you. No.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm talking to more women than the average person that's not on stage.
But that's also for the sake of the fact that you are a DJ. So it's
But if we really, exactly. So it's like, I don't like
putting
using
in
the DJ
requests.
excuse, right? I don't really like using that DJ excuse. That's something I used to do when I was younger. I used to be like, but I have to talk to all these girls 'cause I'm a DJ. And it's like, there's truth in it. But, you know, back in the days, we used to use that as an excuse to be bad people. We're not bad people. We just do bad things and we got to grow out of it. That's all. But, you know, it just, you sort of start the race later than everybody else.
Yeah.
So personal life is something that for me, like my struggles in the industry are not, I don't take anything personally. There's so much people that it's like, you know, people run to me and this person said this about you and this person said that about you. And I'll see those people and they'll hail me and, hey, what's up? I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I don't take nothing personally. It's like, it is what it is.
So
my
just let
struggles
the
are
brush
internal, my personal, right? Because I feel like my professional life consumes who I am, that I have a difficult time differentiating Boris from Russian. And basically that's what it is right now. I'm just trying to figure out who Boris is. And you know,
Gotcha.
a friend of mine told me the other day when I was saying I was feeling down, he was like, you need to take a day off and do something that you like that's not music related. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. I genuinely don't know. So it's like, that's what I'm doing now. I'm taking some time to try different things, go out different places. And that seems to be working right now. I haven't really, since I got back from St. Vincent Easter weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I had like an epiphany in St. Vincent. I drank the rum and I had like
It just came to
it came to me and it was just like, bro, stop feeling bad for yourself and go and figure it. Like, what are you going to do to figure out what makes you happy and what makes you and not Russian.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds confusing.
No, it's not.
But
not at all.
That's
It
just what
actually is it's received very well as well too, because of the fact that, again, one, this is something that it's not talked about, right? Two, it's very common, right? But again, it's not talked about. So for somebody of your caliber, and again, I know you're humble and all that stuff, but for somebody of your caliber to actually be authentic and genuine enough to bring that out to the forefront, like, I'm receiving it well. You know what I'm saying? Little old me. You know what I mean? But I know, really just, but I know for a fact the amount of respect that you have, just you being you, Mad Russian on stage. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you know what I'm saying? You're seen in a different light. So the amount of respect in clout that you have, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be received well, because it's just like, okay, this dude actually is very, I don't really like using the term humble a lot, but this dude is definitely down to earth. He's human.
The thing is, right, and that's what I was just about to say. The thing is, people see not just DJs, entertainers on stage,
period,
and everybody. I'm talking about artists. I'm talking about the Beyoncés of the world. I'm not talking about just in the Caribbean. And forget that these are people. So when you're on and you're like, let's say for whatever reason you didn't like Beyonce's new album. This is not the Beyonce I know. Okay, Beyonce is an artist. She has the right to release whatever she wants to release if it makes her happy. She's a human being.
Period.
People are going online and they're watching shows and reality TV and they're going and they're judging people and they're putting out this and...
Bro, and then when they see them in person,
it's like, it's not even about what you see in person. It's like I don't know. Just randomly, I was scrolling on Instagram earlier today and I saw Neo was out with his 2 girlfriends. And people are like, I can't believe this is the same guy that was singing this 10 years ago. Okay, he said he's trying something new. And if it works for him, it works for them. How is it affecting your life?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Relax. It's not. And people are like, so, again, people forget that everybody's a human, right? Everybody's a human being. And you see all these things on social media and
it's like that's that judgmental stuff. And it's like, you know for damn sure, yeah, he's an entertainer or whatever. But at the same time, you yourself, if you're put on that pedestal, even if you're not on that pedestal, you don't like that. You wouldn't like that.
And again, you're being judged by people that don't know you from a hole in the wall. You know what I mean? All you do is what you see on stage, but you're looking at these DJs, right? And a lot of these guys are fathers, you know, and if they're not, they're sons, their brothers, their uncles, their cousins. These are human beings that go home to their family if they have one. People that are going home, figuring out their life and going through their own set of emotions and thing. And it's like the power that everybody has. People don't understand that the power in what they say and in their actions and how it affects everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So to you might be online clowning me and Russian's a fool. Okay. I just got a tattoo in St. Vincent of the 3 diamonds from the Vinci flag. And I mean, all my Vinci friends are like, yeah, you're Vinci. But it's like, it's more than just that. Like, I'm going through something in my life right now, which I, partially started with you, that pertains to my mental health.
Right.
And I'm telling you that I had a serious breakthrough in Vinci.
It means something to
And
me.
again, like, this is more than just, you know what I mean?
Right.
This represents, like, that was very important to my mental health. This trip for Easter was very, like, again, it was an eye opener for me. And yeah, I felt that I'd like that part of my story to be tatted on my, you know what I mean? Like, it's a part of my story. Like, to me, I think that'll be a turning point for the future. As I said, I think it's going to change how I think and how I operate. And it holds a very, like, special place in my heart. So I was there and I got it done. And it's like, okay, you don't like that I did it? Great. Don't tattoo it on your
You got
skin.
slack for it? Some people are saying something?
There's always,
there's
there's always somebody.
yeah,
but
there's
again, you don't know me. You just see what I put out on Instagram, and
losing sleep.
people just have to remember to be kind. And it's like we already live in such a messed up world where there's so much bad and so much negativity being put out from the news to, like, actual events that are happening. People are getting killed for nothing, like, there's so much happening, and it's like, why add to the negativity? You don't like something, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Why? Who asked for your, like, 2 cents? If you don't like it, keep it pushing. Just don't say nothing. It's important. These people are forgetting that these people being people that are, like, online, or it's not nice.
It's not.
It's not. Like, you're forgetting that this is somebody that goes home to their family, that lives their own life, and that when they're on stage for that 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week,
folks think that they have the right to.
You have 24 hours in a day. Even if you are booked 7 days a week, which you're not. I know I'm not. Sometimes it's 1 event a week, sometimes it's 7. You don't know. But again, out of the 24 hours a day, realistically, I don't know how many hours that is in a week, but somebody help me with it. Sean, help me. Calculator, please. 24 times 7.
Faster, Sean. Come on.
I usually would be able to do this, but I'm a little tired. 160?
168.
168 hours a week. I might DJ anywhere between 1 and 8 hours a week. That's about 152 to 159 hours. Sometimes a whole 100. Sorry. I just completely slaughtered that math. You said 168. That's between 160 and 168 hours a week if I get nothing. That I'm a human being. That I'm not on stage. That I'm not who you see. You know what I mean?
Or who you think you know.
Or who you think you know.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other things going on. You know what I mean? There are people that depend on me.
Yeah.
There are people that I depend on. And it's just like, everybody's important. Every single person. Every person that, when I'm on the stage, is like, there's nobody. I don't believe in putting people on pedestals. I've met some people that I idolize in the sense that respect. But idolizing people to me never made sense. I'm not gonna
That's too much.
Cry tears of joy if I meet whoever, right? But I mean, it'd be exciting. I look up to you. I respect you. I'd love to,
collab or something.
collab,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
But the idolization creates this sort of illusion that the people on stage are more important, or not more important per se,
pedestal.
right? But it's like
a higher,
hierarchy. And it's not. They're the same people. When I'm done with my set, before my set, I'm in the crowd hanging out, enjoying the music, just like you. I'm listening to the DJ that's playing before me so that I don't replay music. I'm hanging out after, enjoying the music. trying to pick up things, learn things, figure things out as I go, and see what I can absorb that can help me better myself. That's it. But I'm a human being. I'm going home the same way you're going home. I'm breathing the same air you're going. I'm getting the same hours of sleep, maybe, probably a little less. but it's like people are so mean right now, and it's just like anywhere you go, and it's like it's so negative, and just got to push out a little more positivity into the world. And
you mentioned people depending on you. Someone tap into your support system a bit. One, the importance of that, and then also like how is your support system when it comes to your brand? You know what I'm saying? As Mad Russian,
that support system is everything. Without a support system, I'm nothing. I don't want to say for anybody else, without a support system, you're nothing. Because if you could be your own rock, boulder, and do everything on your own, kudos to you, and still get the support. But again, in my opinion, when I say my support system, I'm not just talking about my management team. I'm not talking about Anthony. I'm not talking about Fat List, the whole team. I'm not talking about my family that's kind of like stuck with me, or my friends that are stuck with me. My support system is every person that might like a picture from me on Instagram. My support system is every single person that will share a Soca party flyer for me, or come to the events, or even if they don't come to the events, you know, sometimes you'll bump into a stranger and they'll be like,
some people don't acknowledge them, right?
You're so...
That's different. That's different to hear. That's actually refreshing, and but yet
that's
real
the
talk,
support
that's different.
system. You have your personal support, so your inner circle, but that outer circle is so important. And the love that they show, as I said, instead of all the negativity that people are putting out, when somebody comes and says something nice to me, right? When I'm going online and I'm reading, this guy's a clown, and I don't know. I'm just thinking of something negative that's not cursing, but you know, this guy this, and this guy that. And instead, every once in a while, you'll get somebody and come up to you and be like, "You're my favorite. You're the best. I'll go whenever you're in town. I'm coming just for you. Coming just to see you play." Or when you're done with a set, and sometimes I feel I keep myself at a very high standard, so sometimes I won't play at my full potential. Everybody has their off days. And sometimes when I feel like I haven't hit my full potential and I feel down, like I'll dwell on it because ADHD. Like you just you sit there and you're gonna really bad. Like I will. Perfect example. I'll bring up St. Vincent again. January 1st, December 31st or January. I think January 1st I flew down for an event called Climax Cooler.
Okay.
And I was given a pretty tough set, but I played it, and it wasn't my worst set, but I was disappointed with myself.
Okay.
And I actually came back to the hotel and I broke down. When you say
tough set, what do you mean? Like just
it was
timing your slot?
played right, so I played last.
Okay.
And by that time, this is an event. This is like a huge event. This is like the biggest New Year's event in St. Vincent. So, and you get people coming in from early. So it's not like an event that starts at 10 and people are there at 1:00. No. So by that time, you've heard just about everything that you know is popping and things. So you got to sort of take a chance and do something different. I took a chance. It played out well. Towards the end of the set, I feel like it really
died down.
But again, I keep myself, I know what I'm fully potential, right? So I came on, and full disclosure, I mean, I think it's healthy. So it might be a little soft, but it's healthy. I got to the hotel and I broke down in tears. I mean, I cried.
You thought you did that?
I cried. Bawled tears. I was miserable. I was so upset. And it's like, everybody has those days where you're like, okay, you didn't play well. You just got to keep it pushing. For me, I dwell on things. Again, ADHD, I dwell. I will sit there and I beat myself up about this for weeks. Just miserable. One of the promoters from those events, from that event, Neeks, is now actually my booking agent in St. Vincent. I spoke to him and I said, "I'm so sorry." I apologized. I said, he's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He's like, people came up to me and they said they loved your set. Like, you had an amazing set. But it's like, again, that low
Level. Yeah.
is like, I'll dwell on things. And that sort of makes it very difficult to get anything done. So that's something that's also, you know, I completely lost what the conversation was about before this and I went into it, but I don't remember.
Support system.
So support system is everything. And that's why I'm saying, like, when you have those moments, the people in your inner circle that you speak to.
Quick reminder of like, yo, you that.
You don't even need that. It's not even that. It's just sometimes you just need a pat on the back and be like, yo, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. It happens. Right. And you know this logically, but when you dwell, you dwell. But that group is important. But again, those people that are not in your immediate circle, that full support system of people online that just show you some love. They might share a flyer. They might say, yo, good job. Yo,
Right.
little flame emoji. You know, you put out a mix or something, or share the mix, or this mix is helping me get through the gym, helping me get through the day. This is therapeutic, right? That support system, you're nothing without it. In all reality, you could be the most talented, amazing DJ, producer, artist. It doesn't matter. If you're, can I curse? I'm not going to curse.
Yes, you can.
If you're a prick, this is X-rated as we're going to get here. If you're a prick, it doesn't matter how great or how talented you are.
Right.
Because you're not going to have that support system of somebody that
Right,
comes
like
in and
you're
just shows
shit
love.
At all.
And you just got to be a good person.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It just staying true to yourself and being a nice person. You're not going to get anywhere without that support system. Because at the end of the day, what really matters? Your relationships with people.
That's true.
If you keep good relationships with people, you treat people good, people will usually treat you with the same respect.
Yeah.
Usually.
I mean, you control what you can control.
Right. The issue is that a lot of people are going to be nice to people to try to gain something from it.
You definitely do have opportunists for sure.
And I mean, to an extent, everybody's an opportunity. That's crazy.
I'm mad you waved your hand, sir.
The thing is, we're all, and this is where you got to look deep within.
Yeah.
Everybody's an opportunist. Every single person. No matter how great of a person you are, every single person wants what's best for themselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, you should want to be a good person just to be a good person.
That's facts. I agree.
It's just how it is in everything. In business, in my personal life, I try to give the same respect that I'd like to get back. Do I always get it back? Absolutely not. More time, I probably don't. But that's okay, because I know that I set my best foot forward, and I know that I can go to sleep at night without having to worry about what I don't have, and appreciating what I do have and who I do have in my corner, which is, again, you know, my team, my inner team, and also the outsiders that are just there for the vibes.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're here for the vibes. That's
Yep.
what we about music.
Yeah.
We love soca. Like, we're here for the vibes.
You saying that as a new DJ, just like how you came up, you got other new DJs that are coming up and they're looking and they're studying the craft. They're looking to see where they fit in. They're inspired by those that they're inspired by. You come across any new DJs that are basically like, you know what? Like, I like how you're moving. I like how you move.
Absolutely.
Either I'm trying to be like you, or I'm trying to study you, or I'm, trying to, what's the term I'm looking for? Shadow, to kind of see how I will fit. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to study it as the game and see like what I can learn from you, right? What I can do to be able to kind of like make moves within this industry and find my own.
Right.
What do you say to those type of people? Have you come across folks like that?
A ton.
Yeah.
So the thing is, as I said, aside from it being an oversaturated market, none of that matters. It being oversaturated or not, you're still going to get a new wave of new DJs every single day. And that's cool. That's dope. Especially if you're in it for the right reasons.
Okay.
For me, it's more than, this is not just a job. This is not a career. This is a passion of mine. So when my friend said, go do something that you like, this is what I
like.
This is all that I like. I want to step it up. I want to learn production. I want to write music. I want to write songs. Like, I want to step it up. This is what I like. This is the thing. There are people that are doing it because they see the attention that you get. And I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong. I love the attention. All of us do. There's not a single DJ that's like, I don't want to. No, you want the attention.
That's the whole, yeah.
Absolutely. That's not the whole point. But, you know, but then you also have those that are like, oh, well, DJs are making X amount an hour. I want to do that. I'm not a big fan of those DJs. Again, nothing wrong with it. You can do whatever makes you happy. But you could see it in a person's eyes when they love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love what I do. I wouldn't change this for anything. Like, there's, it has its downs. It's not a
You
perfect.
think somebody can grow to love this? Probably start off in the sense where you're just like, you know what? It seems like
It depends on their experience.
got it.
In all reality, again, you usually you get what you put in. If you set your best foot forward, and I mean really are like, this is it. I love this. People can sense the difference between a DJ that's just there to play music and a DJ that's there to, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
interact. And it's the way you interact with people while you're on stage. It's how you play the music. There's a difference in it. You know, the guys that are doing it just because they want to make some money. Oh my God. Nobody ever calls me. I want you to know that nobody ever calls me. And since we sat here, my phone has not stopped like
Big munting.
big man things. Watch when I get out of here, nobody's gonna
It's
call
gonna
me.
be
And
dead
everybody that I
silence.
call back is not gonna answer my phone call. Promise you, this is always the case. Like, I'm busy now, everybody's calling right now. Sean, I'm sorry. Do you have Earl's number?
Yeah.
Can you please text him and see what he wants? Please. Thanks. Sorry.
Good.
But yeah, I don't see. Damn it. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, if you see the young DJs that are coming up, man, I'm seeing some of them. You watch DJs get complacent, get comfortable,
Okay.
right? You watch DJs that are upcoming either get comfortable where they are, or the DJs that are on top get comfortable where they are, and they sort of get a little lazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to everything. You know, it's like, you know, you do the same thing 100 times, you're going to be like, okay, this is getting a little not as exciting as the first 10 times.
10
I did
times.
it,
Right.
And you're watching these young cats. And these young cats that really want this, they have this aura, this fire in their eyes, so to speak, right? Where they're like, I want this so bad.
Right.
Right? And you're watching them, and some of these young dudes are like, and girls, some of these female.
Thanks.
Whoo!
Thanks.
I'm coming to see you play this week.
You are?
I am.
Yay.
Like, but when I say dudes, I mean DJs, like the younger DJs,
Yeah.
the upcoming, the new DJs. A lot of these cats, they want that. And you could see it in how they move and how they're willing to operate and just adapt to whatever they're being asked to. And they're passionate about it. I love that. And I work with some of them, time permitting. But a lot of them will hit me up and be like, hey, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? I want to get in here. What would you say to do? It's not much you could teach. In reality, everybody has their own road.
Gotcha.
And you have to figure out what works for you, because what works for me will not work for you.
Right.
In the words, in the great words of Two Girlfriend Neo, what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa.
That is
But
true.
you know, giving the basic tips of, hey, this is what, you know, like what I explained to you about marketing. I can't tell you how to market yourself,
But you can get.
but I can tell you that's
very
exactly what
specific.
you need to do, and you need to figure out what works for you.
Right. Like for somebody like me, I'm a visionary. So if anything, it's just like I just got to see certain things play out. I have the question, but then at the same time, like when somebody tries to articulate that through words, I'm just like, you know what? Well, let me just see how you move. You know what I'm saying? Then I can kind of grasp what it is that you were basically trying to imply. You know what I'm saying? Through words. I'm just like, okay, I see now. Now I feel that. Now I can be able to take that and basically try to figure out how I can make that work for me.
Right.
You know,
So
the rest of them K blends is two different people.
And you understand what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Then, so for example, you could be somebody important in one market and a nobody in a completely different market.
Yo.
So let me clarify this, right? So when you're like,
go.
when
Let's
you're
go.
like, this is the Mad
Let's
Russian.
go.
Okay, I'm the Mad Russian in certain areas, and I'm absolutely nobody in a different community, right? And I'm not even. It's not about being humble. It's about being realistic. I'm known in certain places. I'm not known in others, and it doesn't matter. What?
It don't mess with you?
No.
Okay. 'Cause
I
it
have
mess with a
goals.
lot. Okay.
I have
Right.
goals that I perceive what's for me is for me, and what's not for me is not for me.
I had to put that out there because it be messing with
But-
folks.
There are DJs that I watch in other communities, other genres, and just like you said, like I hit up my guy DJ True Blends.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar. True Blends this guy's an animal, bro. I mean, he's good. And I mean, he gets on set, he gets on stage, and the aura of the whole club, like he shakes the room. And I hit him up and I'm like, bro, yo, send me your calendar, send me what your dates look like. And on dates that I'm not booked, I just want to roll with you, see what you're about. Yeah, no problem. I don't care where I stand anywhere, because I'm at a point where I realize that you're never too big. You're never too good. You're never too great. You could always be better. You could always do more. You could always learn something. You could learn something from the young cats. But I have DJs that I look up to and I'm like, yo, I want to roll with you. You know what I mean? Like this is conversations that I've had with other DJs. It doesn't always work out scheduling wise. So like you said, I brought up Noah, Polish, Ricky Platinum. When I want to learn how them dance hall events, the Jamaican, you want to go watch these cats.
Ricky.
These
Me and him
cats
used to be dancers together. That's how they usually
these
come up.
guys right here. And I mean, there's so many more that I could name, but these are people that I communicate with.
Yeah.
So I can, be like, hey, I'm not going to, there are other DJs that I would love to follow that I just, we don't speak. I don't know them. They don't know me and vice versa.
Right.
As I said, with scheduling, it becomes difficult, but never, ever too big to thing. And again, it's like you're watching these young cats, and I'm telling you, like sometimes I'll go to like a street dance or something that may not necessarily be viewed as somewhere where you'd see me, because of the image. You're like, you expect me to be always at like a big festival.
Right,
and it's
right,
like,
right,
no,
right,
sometimes
right.
I'll go to like a little backyard party, and you're watching these young cats play at these backyard parties, and the style is so refreshing, unique, is different.
Yeah.
They're interested. Again, when you start seeing stages of 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 5,000 people, it's cool. It's great. Best feeling in the world. Sometimes when you reach a smaller event, you might be like, what am I going to do? Right? Like it's a different feeling. It's two completely different stages. And that initial excitement that you had 10 years ago is not
that flame,
the same excitement, because
yeah,
you're accustomed to something different now, right? So watching those up and coming,
refreshing.
the new guys are there, and they're like, and you're like, wow, I
Kind of like a reminder in a
I
sense.
can't do that. Yeah, it's a reminder, like, do better, step it up, because these guys are coming, and you can only have so many DJs on one lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, ooh, don't gatekeep, but keep up.
Keep up.
Keep up. You're watching dudes that were the biggest thing 10 years ago not get work right now. You're watching dudes from 20 years ago. The new generation's like, who? And that's no disrespect. It's just either you keep up,
Yeah.
or you don't keep up.
Gotta stay relevant.
That's why you have artists that are relevant for 20 years,
Yeah.
30 years. You know what I mean?
Moving with the times.
They're moving with the
Staying
times.
hungry.
When you're looking at, certain, let's use Marshall as the prime example of adapting. Marshall has been
From Come Dig It
singing
to-
soca from exactly. You're talking Come Dig It. Too Young to Soca. Too Young to Soca was what, 86, 80?
Yeah.
I can't.
That was
Long time ago, right? And you're watching this young man grow, and every single year.
It's a hit after hit after hit.
Don't talk to me about what he has or what he doesn't have. I know that the radio stations. Yeah, who cares? The man has adapted a style and has been adapting to the new style year in, year out. Regardless of how you feel, he will give you a hit song just about every single year. He adapts.
Yeah.
And that can be mirrored into any profession.
Mm-hmm.
Videographers with how they edit their content, the kind of content they shoot. photographers with how they shoot,
That's facts.
right? You can't be shooting
The same
parties with the same camera you were shooting 20 years ago. It's not a thing. Times are changing.
Right.
The specs are changing.
Right.
DJing is no different. You got the guys that are complaining, we used to carry crates of vinyls. And that is great.
You Serato DJs.
No. Yeah, you Serato. We respect you. We love you. That time, and there's still a market for it. It's a niche market.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you still have the opportunity to be part of that niche market. However, you can't complain when the times have changed and when the culture has changed. You did not adapt to it. You chose to be stuck in the, I want to walk around with a CD case. Walk around with a CD case if that makes you happy. Play the CD case. Throw an event where only vinyl DJs play. Great. However, when everybody right now is playing digitalized music,
don't be mad if you don't get booked.
Don't be mad. If you're not adapting with the times, don't be mad if you get left behind. How am I doing? I'm doing good? Yeah? All right. I should get into vinyl? I would love to. You see the way my bank account is set up.
I'm done.
Got a checkings
Checking in a savings.
and a savings.
You're gonna go ahead and make that transfer.
I got.
Don't want to sell me.
If you Fetless would fund it, I'm here for it. I'll learn vinyl by next week. I'm a quick learner.
What's next for you?
Production.
Nice.
Production. I'm actually and songwriting. I wrote a song for an artist in St. Vincent I'm hoping to have out for this carnival, God willing.
I saw somewhere where it was just like, okay, those DJs that there's a timing, right? And don't get stuck in the fact where it's just like, if you want to break into production, if you want to break into songwriting, if you want to break into things outside of just getting booked for gigs, start that earlier in the career because there's a ceiling.
I wish I started it earlier. I just started.
But do you think you've hit a ceiling to where it's just like, okay, like...
As a DJ?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a ceiling. And that's the thing. That's all mental. Everything is in your head, which is why it's always you versus you and nobody else. You might have hit a ceiling in your market.
Maybe that's what they meant.
So let's say you've hit the ceiling in, let's say, Trinidad for Carnival. Right? And you feel like you can't get any more work or anything higher than whatever you've reached your high point in Trinidad Carnival.
That part, okay.
Okay. Have you done the research to go jump over to another island and practice and learn and study their culture and actually figure out how things work? Not just sticking to top 40, learning their history, learning their food. There's no such thing as too late. Again, everything is a mental block.
It is a mental thing.
And understanding and coming and playing the music correctly doesn't stem from just learning the music. I have DJs that are willing to send me a folder from Antigua. I've been to Antigua one time. I'm going back next month again. I would not take a booking for Antigua Carnival right now unless I was 100% certain that I've learned enough about the culture in this next stay, in this next trip. I would not take the booking. I would love to play in Antigua for Carnival. I'd love to play in St. Lucia for Carnival. I don't know enough. I know the basics, but everybody knows the basics. And everybody's going to go in there and play the basics. I don't want to be like everybody. I mean, I want to play the stuff that everybody knows, but I want to learn more about the culture altogether. I want to know what Lucians or Antiguans or, again, this is just two that I can think of off the top of my head, or Dominicans, right? I want to know what the music sounded like 10 years ago, what it sounded like 20 years ago. Who are the legends of the island? What food do you eat? What drink do you drink?
Research.
Yeah, research.
Study.
What? I'm not making this up. This is not this is not stop. Like Jesus. Anyway, I want to learn and fully. The younger DJs do this thing, and I was that younger DJ, so I'm not really talking about the younger DJs. I'm projecting right now.
Okay.
They're so hungry to get on a big stage that they haven't checked themselves to see that they're ready to be on that big stage.
Because some of them would, not to cut you off, but some of them would, like you saying that I would turn down that gig offer. Now. Right.
But I'm saying now, knowing what I know, because in the past, I've taken events on big stages where I did not deliver to what I could have now if I if I've taken the time to really learn and knew what I know. And I mean, that's part of the process. As I said, everybody has their off days.
So people think that would be a past opportunity now if they...
Again, we're looking at Grenada. My first time in Grenada was 2015 or 16, a while ago. My very first time in Grenada, Tall Pre flew me down for Pre-Day, which is this huge concert featuring a ton of artists, a ton of local artists, but also, you know, he got some of the top artists from the other islands flying in. And that was the one time that I played there. That was my first time in Grenada. And although I knew the Grenadian culture to an extent, still learning, but understood and you know, I've done a ton of research. This wasn't even about Grenada. This was about me personally. I was not ready for that big stage.
Gotcha.
I did not deliver on stage how I would now, because now it's like I've developed a skill set being on more big stages that I know that if Tall Pre was to call, yo, come down this year for Pre-Day, I know that I can handle it to the extent, to the proper capacity. And a lot of times we'll take opportunities and jump on them because we want them so bad, rather than saying, you know what, thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it. But I was hoping that maybe, you know, maybe I'll do it 2 events down the line. Maybe I'll just come and hang out and check out your event for 1 or 2 events to really see what your event is like or what it's about. Not everybody can afford to do that. Not even just, sometimes it's financial things. Other people can't, you know, sometimes you can't turn down an opportunity, but being real with yourself and just keeping, you know, being honest is like, you rush into things.
They saw something in you, honestly. So who's to say that they won't respect that and probably come back?
Absolutely.
Anything, you know what I mean?
And
they clearly saw something in you. So if you know for a fact, it's a matter of giving yourself time and taking the time to perfect your skill, your craft.
You have to understand.
Especially for that. You know what I'm saying?
But again,
what's for you
is for you. And then again, a lot of people don't know how to be honest with themselves.
That's facts.
You ask for feedback. I critique you. You get upset with me. Why are you asking for my opinion? Do you want my opinion? Do you want me to be a yes man? Tell you that you're doing a great job if you're not?
That's what it is.
I keep myself at a high standard. And I'll send something to you and you might be like, there's nothing wrong with this. And I'll be like, the echo on this is terrible.
Yeah. For
a split second, but I hear it. And I try to keep myself with that. And so it's like, that was never an issue to check myself and be honest with myself and be like, it's not great. Somebody will send me a remix and it'll be like off key. I'm like, do you not hear that? You know, they'll get upset. And it's like, don't be upset. Fix it. If you don't know how to fix it, ask somebody that does know how to fix it. Or YouTube it.
I mean, YouTube University.
University. Figure out how to fix it and fix it. Don't ask for an opinion if you're not ready for an opinion.
So those new DJs now that are coming in, right? That are aspiring to find their movement. Find their trying to order their steps, trying to make their moves within this industry. What advice would you give them? These new coming DJs.
Finding yourself.
Boom. Okay.
Finding yourself is the most important. As I said, branding, marketing, that's cool. You can't do any of that until you find yourself. Find what gets you going. And that's why I said there's a difference between those that are coming here to work, and those of us that are passionate about what we do. Once you find your passion, you'll find everything else. But again, you can't force it because I want to be on stage in front of 10,000, I don't know, Jamaicans and
goal. But
right. But even then, it's like if you don't like, for example, soca music, and you're just going there because you want to play on a truck, you're not going to play it well. If that doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Find what makes you happy. And that's the first step. After that, you could learn everything else.
Yeah.
But that initial step for a new DJ, what's important is saying, hey, I want to learn this. The DJing thing is cool. Okay. The next step after that is you want to learn a DJ. What are you going to do with it? Musically, what are you into? What makes you happy? What's the market like for that? And that's where, you know, you separate who's going to take it seriously and who's not.
I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you for having me.
This is a dope-ass combo.
Yes, it was.
Go ahead and give them your handle and where they can find you, websites and all that jazz.
Ooh. Sean, is my website ready? It'll be ready soon.
Hold on.
It'll be ready soon.
Yeah, your website's ready. It's fetless.com/.
I love that.
That's it. Go check that. I mean, you want to come say it? You want to come say it? You sure?
No? You sure?
We'll drop a link there somewhere. But you can find that actually in my links on my Instagram at DJ Mad Russian. For those of you that can't spell Russian, it's RUSSIAN. Sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, is it the A or the I first? So that is DJ MADRUSSIAN. Gotta catch myself again. But yeah,
Okay.
that's about it. I mean, Instagram has the links to everything else.
Yeah, SoundCloud, all that jazz.
All that nasty stuff.
Bet. Well, it's definitely a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. I'm excited for this weekend. It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be a long, great weekend. Tuesday.
Okay, so you'll be able to rest up after.
No rest. Everybody needs. I got a ton of people here. We're about to have a good time.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
Good vibes.
If you're in Houston, Juve Junkies. If you didn't get your tickets, that's on you.
It's not too late. You got a few hours.
Yeah, okay.
You got a few hours.
But in the end, you already know 420, so the city's about to be lit regardless. Like lit. Okay.
I don't know nothing. Shh.
Lit any type of way.
What's 420?
We're gonna leave that. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know.
I just want to drink my rum. Get my head lashed up. Yeah, all right.
Look, you already know the vibes. The Muscle Hustle Podcast. Check out the website, www.themusclehustlepodcast.com. Y'all ask for this merch. Boom, you already see it behind me.
Merch is fire.
Check out the website. Also, make sure to subscribe. YouTube. Click. I need them clicks, y'all. Subscribe, share, like, comment. I never know the order, but you already know what I'm talking about. Instagram. It's the same across all social media platforms and audio platforms. So everybody that's been listening and checking out audio. In your cars, texting me, telling me y'all like the vibes. I appreciate y'all. The Muscle Hustle Podcast. Respect my hustle. I'm Coco, and we're out.